I think the first place to begin when you're taking a look at doing some of the ribbons that we turn into flowers is to look at what are some of the different ribbons that can be used. And there is quite a variety. Honestly, the only ones that make a difference I'll point out to you, but you should know that there are some differences. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 different kinds that are here. Let's look at the first one. This one is 1.5 inches wide, and I've got it marked at 3.5 inches, which is what I used to create this carnation, which is what we're talking about today, is how to make a carnation. And the way that I have done the back, this is folded in half. For example, this would be gathered together, stitched like this, and then 18 of these are put together, and then you separate these in order to get a little more fluff to your carnation. So there's nothing wrong with this. It works out really well. It's very large as far as I'm concerned, but I like it. So you can see what that difference can be when you use one that's 3.5. This ribbon has 2 sides to it, most definitely. This is one side that is what we call the right side, and this is the wrong side. And honestly, guys, it's hard to tell, especially in the filming, which is which. But there is little more of a shine to this side than there is to that side. So that's this ribbon. Then we'll take a look at this one, which is, again, both of these say they're 100% polyester. They're called satin ribbon. If we really, and I'll show you what a real satin ribbon is. You can call it satin if you want, but these are 100% polyester, and that's what you want most of the time to work with. This one is, again, 1.5 inches wide, which is, for me, a convenient thing to have. It's 21 feet. This is important for you to look at, because here's this one, and it's 21.5 feet. This one is 21.5 feet. This one is 9 feet. So check your prices to see what you're going to get. Obviously, I'm going to go with the one that's 21. I don't even know what this cost. It was very little, under $3 or $4, I think, because it doesn't have to be very expensive. The difference here is that I cut the ribbon 2.5 inches long, okay, and you can see the difference. This one and this one. This one is a little bit shorter. This is the size that I was looking for and the size that I wanted. And again, the way we do this one is it's going to be folded in half. I'm going to stitch this together, but I'm going to put it together in a different way than what we did for this one. So that's just to let you see that ribbon. Then we go to this one, which is the same brand as this one here. I'll turn it over for you so you can see. Very same brand. Okay. But this one, I did 1.5 by 3 inches. And it's going to have a different purpose, and that's why I did that. Notice how this has got a different bottom to it than this one. This one is for my quilts, for my art quilts, my regular quilts, and I can attach it. It's something that can go on a purse, it could go on a jacket, it can go on a hair tie, wherever you want it. This one is going to become an actual flower. So it's going to have the green base here, bringing it together and pulling it down. So this is why, in this case, with this carnation, I made it 3 inches long, did the same process of gathering it together, but rather than having the stitching I'm going to show you is that we stitch here. Rather than do that, I gathered it together, and I tied it. Just imagine that I tied it right there. And then I wrapped it like this, and I put them all together this way. Can you see how that goes? They all go together this way. So that way I'll have a base for the flower. Now, because this has to lay on its side and it doesn't stand up, this isn't really going to be an effective one to put on a quilt. But I wanted you to see it, so we'll put that one away. Then this one is actually done with silk ribbon. This, guys, is as light as a feather. And I used the same backing technique on this one that I did on these other two. And I'll be showing that to you in this video. But what I did here is the ribbon that I bought, 2.5 inches wide. That's the name of the company, Hanah. Hand-dyed ribbons. Gorgeous, gorgeous ribbon. But what I did was I trimmed it all 4 sides, because the way that it was put on the wrap here was I would be using it going this way, and you would not see the pretty purple or pink. So I trimmed it all, and I'm folding it this way and gathering all of this so that you get the highlight of the pink, which is important. It's so light, it's so beautiful. And that's just another, I think you probably have to order something like this online. Very seldom will you see it in our quilt stores. And then the last one is just paying attention to what you are buying. So once again, this is the same company. They're pretty much everywhere. But here's the difference. This one says it's double-faced. None of these others say that from this company. The difference is that it is shiny both on the front and the back. That is nice to have. It costs a little more. You don't really need it to do the work that we're doing. But it really does, it kind of makes it so that you don't have to worry about, did I make a mistake or not? And I'm going to be doing this one right here in the white, using this particular ribbon. Now, the one thing that I've noticed is that this feels a little thicker than this one. So we'll see how well this one gathers up. Now that we've worked on what ribbons we're going to use, I'm going to show you the other tools that I think are important to have. Of course, the needle is important, and I use a number 5 embroidery needle, primarily because it's got a nice big eye, and I can see putting the thread through it very easily. And then any thread of your choice is fine. This is a tool that I absolutely love, and I never do hand work without using this. This is called Thread Magic. And this is, I think it's a silicone base. It looks and feels like paraffin, but it is not paraffin. It is, I think, silicone. I'm not sure. But what I do is I run my thread through that. Now, I'm not pressing hard on it, but what it does is it coats the thread with the silicone. It does not leave a stain. It does not affect the fabric at all. But what it does is it's very easy then to get it through the fabric, and it slips right through. Oh, it's just so easy. Works right through. And then the last thing that I use is my pinking shears. You'll see a lot of things out there on TV where when you're working with these, when you're doing these flowers, that they will say you have to heat these or sear all the edges, and so that they don't unravel. I don't like to use that because I do teach a lot of kids, and I don't think that's a good thing to have around them if they're not, you just, why bother? So anyway, what I do is I use the pinking shears, and it works just great. You just cut them out, cut the edge off, whatever you need. And then when I'm working on my flower, if it gets a little bit ratty, I just give it a haircut. And it works just fine. I've got a little gold one in there. And then what I'll do sometimes to finish it off is I will glue a piece of felt to the back of it before I put it on the quilt. But this is absolutely, I will not be without it. So those are the primary things we have now. Let's go ahead and let's make our carnation. I'm going to cut 16 of these at 2.5 inches long. This ribbon is 1.5 inches wide, which is usually the width that I like to work with. And then I did use a purple thread so that you can kind of see better what I'm doing. I'm going to do a very small, well, for me, gather stitch right across where I have folded them together. And then I'm going to gather it. Not tight, but just gather it. I don't know, just semi-tight, I guess you might say. And then I'm going to go ahead and tie a knot. Come on. Cut it off. Tie a knot here again. I'm going to do this 16 times. I'm not going to have you watch me do this 16 times. Actually, Guys, I usually will do 18 of these because every flower that I do is a little bit different. And if I have a backup, then I don't have to interrupt the rhythm that I have in putting these flowers together. So what I'll do is probably make 18 of these folds. And if I use them, fine. If I don't, that's fine too. But at least I'll have what I need. Normally I would be using the same color thread that I have these for the ribbon, but there's no way you could see what I was doing, so this makes it a little easier for you to see. And this should be the last one that I do for you, and I'll speed it up, and we will go to the end and finish up on this. Okay, I think I'm going to tighten this one up a little more. Put a little more gather in it. There we go. Okay, I'll see you with the next section. Okay, now we're going to put all the petals together. This is what it's going to end up looking like. But I'm going to turn this over so you can see what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to create like a spiral. This goes in a spiral this way. And I just start in the middle with a small one, and this isn't tight. This is just held together loosely, but you try to keep the same level here. It would have a tendency to want to sink in the center if you don't watch what you're doing. So let's begin and see what we've got. What we're going to do is put these two together by stitching. This is about the only place we'll be doing stitching is in the back on this whole area. Anything that's happening up here, they will be spread apart and open up, and that's how you get this abundant look of the carnation. So these two are together. I'm just going to wrap this over a little bit, bring it together, leave this open a little bit for me, and then just very lightly, very loosely connect these two pieces together. So I've got that hold. Then I'm going to pick up another one, put these two together, petal to petal, attach them, and wrap it around a little bit. And give it an attach. Take another one, put the two petals together, side by side. And this is what you do all the way around. Your main goal here is to keep them all on the same flat level right here as you go around, and then to just have them all connect together with, there you go, having them all connect together like this. Now it's starting to form into a circle, so I want to stop for a minute, pull the center up a little bit because it has a tendency to want to slow down and kind of sink in the middle. Here's the end of one of them. Let's go and do another one. And then I'm not going to bother you with doing them inch by inch by inch. I'll go ahead and do a few of these, and we'll come back so you can see how I finished it. But this is basically what you're going to be doing, is manipulating these. The more that you have in your hand, the more you have to kind of watch what you're doing. All right, I'm going to keep going since there's so many of these, and then we'll come back and see after I've got it almost done. And our last one we'll put together right here. Got the two ends together. And connect this all together. And tie off. Just going to bring this up here. And then if I feel that there's any place where it might be needing an additional attachment to kind of look at it and see if there's anything that doesn't look right or that might be too loose, then see how it wants to go into a little, can you see how it sinks? It's okay, it does that just by the fact that there's so much bulk here. But you can, again, tighten things up if you choose to. You don't have to. I just kind of want to make sure that everybody's connected. Cut it. I have a piece of felt here that I will be using and I will hot glue it to the back. Actually, what I might do, yeah, I'm just going to hot glue it to the back, trim it off, and then clean it up. Now, as you can see, this is going to spread out. I'll move that for just a minute. And so what I'm going to be doing is pulling these apart to fluff up the carnation. Makes a big, big difference. So you'll go all the way around it, and you'll fluff them up. The more that you open them up in the bottom, the more it's going to, look more like a carnation. And then the final thing is, as you can see, it gets a little bit ratty at times, so you give it a haircut. And you just come in here and you do a few trims wherever it's not working for you. And then all you have to do now is find a pretty quilt to put this on. This will all buckle up together as you open all these little petals up. And there you go. On the 12 square quilt that I have here, I wanted to show you that we completed one of the squares using the pink carnation that I talked about. It really adds to the different colors that we have, I think, in the block. And here on my design wall, where I have the variety of the different flowers, the white carnation, I think, adds a great pop to this design element. So here's just a couple of ideas on how you can use your carnations. If you liked this video, I hope that you will subscribe. I thoroughly enjoyed making it for you, and I hope that you got something out of it. Also, when you subscribe, you really do help our channel a lot. It helps us to continue to bring to you the very best in art quilting techniques, designs, and artists. Thank you again for watching.